shape. Trouble remembering. This conference, the short time you had, I think is amazing. The enrollment, the numbers, the awards, restructuring, you have Gulick here, you have the North American Society and the other location, that have the Teacher of the Year together. Whoever came up with these ideas, terrific job. When I first received notification, the Hall of Fame, I don't remember if it was a phone call or email, but I didn't believe it. In fact, I told my wife, I said, I bet they're going to honor all of the past presidents because I know there are so many that are deserving, not just me. I also felt it couldn't be me because I have not been in the mainstream of a lot of thinkers nationally. I was in favor of collaboration when I was president. In fact, my theme was making connections to the associations, connections to the international community. The board, I said, you represent birth to death together. Separately, you represent nothing. We are not together. The name I'm not crazy about, but we're together. That's what counts. And I'm very happy also in terms of the direction I've seen at the conference, because it is, as Gail had mentioned, it's shaping the future, which makes good sense. It's not shaping bodies, which is good. My interest in collaboration led to the National North American Society. The idea there was to bring together the disciplines, the leaders in health, in dance, in recreation, in physical education, and almost to be a think tank in terms of the future. That has taken off, and it's working. Physical Best was multidisciplinary. Fitness didn't belong in an association. And I told the board many years ago, I said, if you can't be a leader in fitness education, you don't exist. You don't belong. What that meant was that associations needed to come together to work on fitness, and they did. We started Physical Best with a multidisciplinary committee. Connection with Heart Association, Jump Rope for Heart. That was a different view. I was on the heart side, trying to tell the heart people that physical education and health is part of what they're intending. I remember being on the heart board saying, it's not raising money for research, it's raising money for research and education. Education is significant. The other area that I didn't get along too well in terms of the future was I focused on the process, not the product. Process. It was not how fit some child was. It was how much they loved activity. That was our goal. Not to get them fit and hate it the rest of their lives. I also focused on the social issues, social justice and civility. I don't care if the kids win or lose. How do they respect their opponents? So those are my directions throughout my life. Collaboration, multidisciplinary, loving activity, and through sport and physical education, learning, social justice, and citizenship. This year I was asked to write a paper on a reflection of my experience. And it was through that paper I started thinking, why do I keep doing this stuff? Either today I'm retired, but I still go to work. I tell people I retired from my job, but I didn't retire from my profession. And when I reflected back, it came down to my childhood. I grew up in Chicago. My heroes, the heroes in my neighborhood were gang leaders. The real good ones were in prison or jail. And I have to give credit to my parents because they always lived next to the playground. And as a child, I chose sport for leadership and teamwork instead of games. I chose competition on the fields instead of competition on the streets for power. And it's that feeling I had as a 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old. It changed my life. And that's when I realized that's what I have wanted to do. Whether as a teacher, or as a coach, or as a school administrator, or as a department chair, or as a dean. That's what I've always felt was important. And that's what I've always felt AAHPERD was about. Caring about kids. Not caring about themselves. Not caring about associations. But together we can be like no other association in the world. Like no other discipline in the world. If we take and put the kids first. I also have to thank my faculty and staff because as Mara said, I've been president of everything. And I've traveled around the world and I've traveled throughout the United States. My faculty and staff had backed me up. They were there when I needed them. My New York State people, they were there when I needed them. I couldn't do half the work if it weren't for them. But ultimately, it comes down to the one person in my life that I would be nothing. It's my wife.